Hi everyone. So in today's video, we're just going to have a chat about vision boards and more importantly, I think how to make a really effective vision board. So I'm going to talk you through, I have a two-step process for vision boards, which might sound a bit weird, but it's the way that I do them. But what it allows me to do is have a super focused, action-driven vision board, which is then a lot easier for me to kind of check back in regularly. And I think as we head into 2022, obviously we've had the last 2 years have been a bit challenging for all of us. And so I think it's a really good time to kind of reset and refocus and think about what do you want to achieve going forward? What do you want more of in your life? What do you want less of in your life? And I feel like vision boards are a really good way of helping you focus on that and helping you drive towards the actions which are going to achieve that. So I often do them around this time of year, sometimes a change in season. I like a back to school kind of September one. That's always a restart for me or a reset. But obviously the main one for many people is as we head into New Year. So this video is just going to talk you through kind of how I do it, and hopefully you'll pick up some tips and tricks, and also just maybe enjoy the process. And I think that's one of the things that I really like about vision boards is I find it a really kind of therapeutic, enjoyable process. So particularly for the first half, which I'm going to talk you through, I like to set the scene. So some people think that it's useful to kind of set your frame of mind around when you're going to do a vision board. So do it when you're in a positive frame of mind. But actually I find that sometimes if I'm in a bit of a funk or if I feel like I'm a bit stuck in life, actually doing a vision board can help me to kind of free up some of that stuff, think about the energy that I want to have more of in my life, and think about things that I can do to kind of positively drive myself forward. So I definitely would recommend that if you're feeling in a little bit of a malaise or a bit stuck. I feel like doing this exercise is really helpful. And also as we set into 2022 and we're setting about intentions about how we want to live, a bit of taking a moment to be grateful for all the things that we do have is also a nice thing. So before starting a vision board, I'll kind of reflect on the things that have perhaps been good about my last vision boards or the things I've actually achieved. Because one of the things about me is I'm really bad at actually acknowledging what I have achieved or what has been good. I'm always focused on driving forward and the next thing and the next thing. And it's good for me to take stock and just think about all the good things that have happened, all the things that I've really enjoyed and the positive elements from say the last time that I did a vision board. And I generally keep these on my desk, so I look at them every day, but sometimes it's good actually to kind of really look at them and think about okay, well, how have I done this or how have I achieved this, and just kind of take stock and be grateful for kind of the opportunities. So that's enough preamble. We're kind of going to get into my two-step process now. So the first stage of my vision board process is I start to think about the feelings and the aspirations that I kind of want to have. So this isn't that concrete at this stage. This is more about things that I want to feel, or it's kind of quite soft and quite feeling focused basically. So what I'll do is kind of go through magazines and I will just flick through and see what kind of resonates with me. And sometimes it might just be I get there's some kind of themes around colours that speak to me, or just certain phrases that will pop out, or things that are kind of images that I want to have or I want to feel. So I just kind of flick through magazines and kind of do this. And I think it's probably worth saying I do this very visually, physically. I know some people do digital vision boards through Canva or through Pinterest, but for me I kind of like the process of it, and I feel this is quite a treat for me. So I like to physically do it. So whatever works best for you, but my preferred process is physical. So I just will, as I say, flick through magazines, sometimes throughout the weeks before if I know I'm going to be doing it. If I see something, I'll kind of rip it out and keep it to one side, and just basically kind of speak to things. So what I'll tend to do is cut out a stack of images from magazines, or anything else I come across, recipes or whatever it might be. So just it's kind of fairly intuitive. I'm not trying to pick certain things at this stage. I'm just kind of seeing what kind of resonates with me and whatever. So once I've kind of got a stack of, and I recommend the simple things for me is a really good vision source, but just find the magazines or whatever that kind of most speak to you. And then what I tend to do is get one of these foam boards. So you can get these from Hobbycraft. They're a couple of quid. And I like them because they're really lightweight, but they're quite sturdy. So they're good to easy to hang places, but also are just, kind of really robust. I think this one was £1.79 from Coleman. So they're kind of easy to have, and I often have a couple just spare, just in case it ever I want to do this off the cuff. So what I'll do is kind of get all the images, cut them all out, And then I'll just start to play with them kind of like visually on my vision board. So I will just kind of move them around and like whatever until I get a sense of like where I want them to be. And then I will just stick them down with Crit Stick, like super easy. So as you can see from like this one, like the theme's kind of quite natural. It's about things that I want around kind of spending more time in nature. So nature meets nurture is the kind of the phrase that spoke to me. This is like a little article about wild swimming, and that was kind of a bit of a theme in here, like lots of nature and stuff. So that was one I did like a few months ago. This was one that I did about like this time last year, kind of quite an autumnal Scandi theme, so I'm quite often like drawn to those types of things. But as you'll see, it's kind of, this one's got a few more words, a few more kind of articles and stuff on, but all of those things are stuff that like resonated with me. If I come across something that's got writing on that I don't like the writing, I will just stick another picture over the top of it. So basically I don't want anything on my vision board that doesn't really speak to me or doesn't really kind of resonate with where I am at that like kind of point in time. So again, these are all like images. This is around the time that I was like doing my home renovation. And so like these are all kind of things that I'm trying to aspire to in terms of the feelings that they give me. So it's not necessarily about like I want to buy that sofa. It's more for me like that's the kind of vibe that I want in my house and stuff. And then this one is the one that I did for 2020, and I have a full confession to make that I'm a bit concerned that I manifested the pandemic, because all of my stuff was about spending more time at home and just basically like living a very calm and simple life. And of course, for most of us in the pandemic, that's kind of what happened, is we were locked in our houses way more than we did. So you can see this one's got a bit more space in it, and I think at the time I was looking for that kind of space and calm, so I think that's kind of reflected on the vision board. But also kind of, again, some quite reminiscent, spending time in nature, cozy kind of home life, kind of that's what like I wanted to do. And like, as you can see at the bottom, the kind of the women element was starting to come out. So it was around the time I was thinking about starting this channel and about like helping women in their careers. And so you can start to see how these things kind of evolve over time. So that's kind of it really. So like, that's kind of the process that I go through to get like the aspirational stuff. So why this is important is it helps me to focus on what are the things I'm trying to achieve, and what are the feelings that I want more of. And then what I do is move on to like the second half, which is like much more action orientated and how I actually like want things to do get done. So I use this as kind of like a visual reference, and then I use that to build out a more action orientated vision board, which I'm going to show you now. So once I've kind of got like my vision board, which is kind of like the feelings that I want, what I'll do is kind of use that as a reference guide, and then I'll just like create another reference board or a kind of vision board to go alongside it. And this has kind of got the 4 main areas. So what I'll do in the middle is write kind of like what the main goal is. And you can do this, I also do this sometimes for businesses or for like people who are trying to, like that I'm coaching or mentoring, and like people who are trying to move forward. So we put like whatever the central goal is in the middle, and then I have 4 sections on the kind of the vision board. So I'll put whatever the goal is in the middle. And so for this one, I think it was about feeling like rested and cozy, and that was kind of like the vibe that I was going for. So I'll pop that in the middle. And then what I'll do, so then I've split the vision board into 3 main sections. So this is like the to-do section, this is done, and then this is like the overall goals and how we know we've like achieved milestones and stuff. So what we're trying to do now is translate like the feelings that we've got in here to like more specific, concrete actions and milestones, so that we know that we've achieved things or we know what we're working towards. Because some of this stuff, particularly on vision boards, is obviously aspirational, but it's hard to know what does success mean or what does it mean when we actually achieve it. So by doing this 2-step process, we're kind of breaking it down to kind of more actionable steps. So as I say, kind of on the left hand side, what I'll have is like the to do, and then on the right hand side I'll have done. And there's nothing better than like moving one of your post-it notes from one side to the other. You'll like totally love the, if you're someone who likes to tick off things on the to-do list, like this is definitely like, you're going to enjoy this. And then down the bottom here, we just have all the different like milestones or how we know we've achieved this. So for things like rested and cozy, it might be that I'm planning, so one of the things I really want to do is like get a log burner for our front room. So that's going to help us like feel more cozy and more rested. So I'm going to put that in the to-do section for now. And then what I'll do is sort of throw all of these around, kind of think about things I want to get, things I want to achieve. and put them either in the to-do if they're like an action, or if it's more of a goal that I want, then it will be down in the goals section. So one of the things I want to do is more workshops this year. So both like being part of workshops, because I really missed them during the pandemic. So things like floristry workshops or like a pottery workshop, I want to do more of those. But I also want to host some of my own workshops as well. And you can make this as specific or as kind of vague as you want. So at the moment I'm just putting host workshops, but there may well come a time when I'll like revisit this and I'll say that like I want to host 5 workshops on this topic. And then that might be something that I put more in the action column and then kind of move it across to the done column when I want to. So that's kind of that. And on the other side of this, so that's how I would do it for like a more aspirational kind of vision thing. If I was doing it for more of a like a business one, so I've done this one over the page, which is more for like this channel and the stuff I kind of want to do here. So down the bottom here, I've got all the different goals that I want to achieve, like with this channel. So things like getting to certain subscriber levels, like the passive income, about I want to work more part-time perhaps, I want to perhaps have some income streams off the back of it, and most importantly, like I want some time freedom. So those are all the kind of the goals that I want, and some of them are really specific. You'll see they've kind of got like numbers, and some of them are a bit more like high level, like time freedom, like what does time freedom actually means, but like I kind of have quite a good sense of this. And then on the left hand side here, I've got like the to-do things that I want to do, so like creating online courses or like ebooks and stuff. And then on the right hand side, I've got what I've actually been able to achieve. So like I've got the imposter syndrome workbook that I've been working on. Like I got to 100 subs, which was massive for me. If you do want to subscribe, please do that below. That would really help. But basically I've just got these and I keep this by my desk every day. And it's good for a couple of reasons, because firstly, I can see what have I actually achieved, because some days you're going to feel like you're not really getting anywhere, or like perhaps you're like not moving forward as much as you want to. But just having that done thing, visually you can see the amount of things that moved across the right hand column, but also it's good just to go, okay, actually, like I am moving towards my goals. Like it might feel like it's slowly, but I am totally getting there. But also you can see quite clearly what are the to-do things that you want to do. And so you can do this, like I say, for a business or for like more personal life. So you might have to do things in there about like say a regular exercise regime. It might be about meal prepping. It might be about getting up at a certain time every day. Like there's going to be certain actions that you want to take that are going to help you kind of move towards your goals, and then you can move them across. And more of the stuff you do this, it becomes like habit and more inbuilt. You don't really have to think about it, but it helps you to kind of upgrade your life and upgrade your career and kind of move towards the things that you really want to get done. Because sometimes it can feel overwhelming, and I like the idea of breaking it down step by step, because actually if I said like on this vision board there's still like 25 things I haven't done and that's just about this channel, that can feel a bit overwhelming and like you're not really getting anywhere. But I like the idea that you can move stuff across to done, and that you can see each little micro action kind of builds you towards something else. So I'd love to know what you're planning to do your vision board on this year, or if like in fact you use vision boards and kind of how you've used them and like what's worked for you. So like please leave that in the comments below, or if you think I'm missing a trick on doing a 2-stage vision board, if you think that's too much, I'd also like love to hear your opinions. If you do a vision board, like tag me on Instagram at Liz Weather. I'd love to see like what you're planning and like what's big for 2022 for you. Yeah, and I hope that's kind of been helpful. So thanks for like staying to the end of the video, and here we're just talking about things that are going to give you more confidence in your career and help you navigate your life and your career and manage all the things you want to, and hopefully share some of the tips, tricks and hacks that I've used throughout like my last 20 years in the corporate world, to help you avoid the mistakes that I've made and some of the challenges I've faced, and hopefully just help you navigate that career with ease. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.